Hey gang, John Bacarella here with your Lake St. Clair Fishing Report, brought to you by Sportsmen's Direct. It is Wednesday, September 11th, 2019. So I don't know about you, but that September 11th, man, every time I hear that, and me and my generation, I mean, that date is pretty dang significant. So I know there's been a lot going on this week, and you know, God bless us all, and hopefully there's no more trauma ever again like what we had back then. So enough said about that. Now, fishing out here, talking about trauma. This week's been kind of traumatic, actually. The last several days, I mean, you know, we've been on this crazy roller coaster ride. September, I don't know if you want to call this Indian summer. I think it's too early for that yet, but you know, 85, 86, 87 degrees, and we had to actually hold off filming tonight for quite a while because the thunder boomers were rolling through, and I mean, it's I don't know if you've been in the store in here during a heavy downpour, but you can't even hear yourself think with that flat roof up there. And it's like, you know, all the tubes and all the water coming down here. It's pretty crazy. So hopefully none of you guys got caught out there tonight in any of that stuff. It just poured. It was a real gully washer. And so gully washer, what's that going to do for you guys, you know, with that heavy rain that we just had? If you're a cat fisherman, you're probably doing a happy dance right now because that heavy rain is going to bring fish in to that spillway, to the Clinton River, the Black Creek, even along the shorelines in multiple places, probably up on that north end of the lake too, up around the Salt, and you know, all those places where you normally catch cats, you're going to catch them after this rain because it was a warm rain, and like I said, it really poured down here all along the shoreline. So you're going to get some good flow going out of any of these water sources coming out into the lake. Now, you're going to get some mud lines out there from that as well. And with that, you're going to start to continue to bring more fish in shallow. Now, I know a lot of you guys are struggling. A lot of guys didn't fish this week. A lot of guys are goose hunting and everything else too. But for the guys that did fish this week, I think you're starting to see that the fish are really starting to transition. And that was really apparent last night, I think, in the Walleye League. Those guys went out, and the guys actually out in the boats really struggled. And one of our employees actually came in and fished the shoreline and did better in fishing the shoreline than he was doing out in the boat. So, you know, that's kind of telling me that these fish are transitioning. And then up on that north end of the lake, we're still getting reports up around Strawberry and Grassy of perch in shallow in those weed beds. I'm talking 8 to 10 foot. Now, if you do venture in to fish shallow, guys, and you're targeting those perch, if that water is clear, please use a slip bobber. Get away from the boat, anchor up away from those weed edges and those pockets, and cast into them. Don't fish right underneath your boat. You're not going to catch squat doing that. Those fish are really skittish, and I'm even hearing from guys out in that deep water that are once again using the slip bobbers if they're in clear water conditions, because those fish are not coming in underneath the boat. At least the quality fish, those bigger perch, your 9s, 10s, and 11s, they are not going to come underneath that boat. They don't want to be underneath that shadow. They don't like that shadow rolling back and forth over them. The bait fish might like that a little bit, but those big perch, they get really skittish. I mean, they're getting dive bombed out there by cormorants. They got muskies zooming all over them out there. So they're pretty skittish. They don't like having those shadows. And I think I just spit, which is which is kind of hilarious. But anyways, hopefully you didn't catch that comet going through the lights here. So we're talking about the shore fishing out there. The guys are still catching fish off of shore at night. Pick your spot. You know, throw some swim baits at them. Kitex, your Berkeleys. What else do you got? Basically, any of your swim baits in that 3 to 4 inch range. Whites have been doing really good. Some of your lighter colors. You probably even toss some glows out there. If you do fish from shore, or you come in with the boats and cast towards the shorelines, or your points, or your shore structures, or close to shore structures, you know, don't be dismayed if you don't get fish right away. These fish are coming in pods. When you get into them, you're into them really heavy. You'll catch quite a few fish in a hurry, and then when it's done, it's done. It's kind of like out here ice fishing. Once they move through, you can be done for pretty much for the whole night, or you can be done for a couple hours. So that's kind of what's going on out there. Now, we do have decent bait now. We finally got some emeralds in. We got a mix right now of goldens, emeralds, and sandshiners in there, but there's a lot of nice emeralds in there. How long that's going to hold up, I don't know. The bait guy was, you know, real skeptical about being able to keep us in stock on those, but right now we do have them here in Metro. So if you're going out here chasing perch, you know, we do have some emeralds for you. Let's see, panfish, haven't heard squat all week. I don't think anybody's really been targeting panfish. The muskie guys even struggled a little bit this week too, from the guys I talked to. So again, that water temperature's dropping. The fish are starting to transition. I know we got fish coming in shallow. So you got fish moving all over the place trying to find their new home here for the fall bite. Same thing for the smallie guys. I know there were guys out there struggling this week. I don't think they were having too much trouble catching those 2 and 3 pounders, but catching those big fish, the guys were really having to work pretty hard for them, and they were, you know, going quite a while between bites out there. Now it's going to get better. I mean, the water temperature at Belle Isle this morning when I checked was 69. I'm sure it's going to bounce back to 70 after this warm rain and 80-some degree weather for the next couple of days, but it's supposed to cool right back off. So these fish are going to keep moving. They're going to keep transitioning. We're going to keep losing weeds out there with the sun angle and, you know, all these storms coming through, tearing stuff up. So it's going to change out there, and the fishing is going to change, and it's just going to keep getting better going into the fall. Salmon run, I was looking at the radar, and I'm not going to pump any rivers up there specifically, but man, they had some heavy rains come in up there too when I was looking on radar just a little while ago. So I'm sure for the weekend for you guys that are going up there, you're going to have a fresh push of fish because the water levels are going to come up big time today and tomorrow, and then they should start to drop off and clean up a little bit going into the weekend for all you guys to stand elbow to elbow and do that combat fishing up there like I know all you guys love to do. Walleyes, guys, down on that Detroit River, I got some kind of interesting report from one of our employees that was down there this week. Now, he was fishing that Canadian side, and the Canadian sides, they've been catching quite a few walleyes right now up by the sand piles and then down. So he started out up there by Alta Road, and it was like sheephead heaven. I guess giant zoomer sheephead. So if you're really into catching big sheephead, fish right out in front of Alta right now. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised. So, but he started there, and then I guess they went down by the whiskey plant. And here's the cool thing, and this bodes really well for us for this upcoming ice fishing season. He got into some big numbers on some little sugar stick walleye. When I mean sugar sticks, I'm talking, you know, 11 to 13 inchers. And there was a ton of them over there by the whiskey plant. They got some keepers as well. But the point being, we've got a fresh push of fish coming up into the lake. I mean, I don't think those are going to be resident fish hanging out in the Detroit River all fall. Those fish, I think, are on their way up into the lake, and I got to believe that the lower temperatures and probably some bait fish are pulling those fish up, which is a really good sign for us for ice fishing this year if we got another fresh push of walleye coming up into the lake out of Erie, especially those little guys. Those are fun. When you get into them, it's a hoot. So that's the report I got from the Detroit River, is they are getting walleyes down there, but there's a fresh push of small fish up in the river right now. Some other stuff going on here in the store. We started getting ice tackle in. We got some augers in and some other miscellaneous Rapala products in. Our big load of rods just came in. We're working on getting them into the system for all you guys online that have been waiting for all that rod building stuff and everything. It's going to be going up online, getting turned back on this week. For all you guys that love to troll bandits, I got some great news for you. We got the generators in, okay? So we got all the generator colors, we got all of the lights that go into them in, and we got an unbelievable price. I think we're beating everybody at $7.99 on the generators. So generators, we got them in here. You can order them online. You can come into the store. Your standard bandits, we're loaded up on these two guys as well, and we're going to make a commitment to you guys to keep the price really low. We're at $5.99 on regular bandits right now, so and I'm going to try to hold it at that price point for you for as long as I can. We still got a deal going on the JT Customs. So for you guys that like to run bandits, I mean, we're bandit central for you right now. You guys going to be fishing down there in that fall brawl coming up. So we are your local spot for bandits. That's about all I've got for you. If you're on our website, you'll notice some changes on there. We just did an upgrade on the website, so it's going to look a little bit different. I'm going to spend a lot of time trying to clean it up, try to get some of those old products off that need to come off, that haven't been taken off in years. You're also going to see a link right up on the front of the website to our YouTube channel. So, you know, if you know, it's just, you'd be able to go on there, and while you're shopping, you can get information on new products and get the fishing reports. And when it starts getting to that time, the ice reports, but we're quite a ways away from ice reports. But we are on the right track. Temperatures going down, And man, I can't wait for ice. I don't know about you guys, I hate this 80-some degree weather and high humidity. So get out there this weekend if you can. If you're not hunting, if you're not up there checking stands or shooting squirrels and rabbits and all that good stuff. I think that opens 15th. So, but anyways, we'll see you in here at the shop. We got emeralds. Yay, we'll see how long they last. You have a good one. Hey, if you like this video content and you want to get updated as soon as the next video is out there, hit that subscribe button and the little bell icon and you'll get notified as soon as the next video is up.